Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I ask you every single day. This is what we do. This is what we do. We invite everybody in. Why? Because we are building a community, we are building a tribe, and let me tell you, it is the best. It's the best on these internet streets. I know, I brag all the time, but let me tell you, I might be bragging, but I'm not exaggerating. And if you don't believe me, go in those comments. Talk to somebody, chit chat, get you a kiki, and I promise you, you're going to be impressed. They are a very impressive group, this tribe is. So all I can say is once you come out and you are impressed, you know what you need to do. Go down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit the notification bell too so you'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. I keep winning, y'all. I keep winning. And it's all because of you. Give me those thumbs up, giving those thumbs up. Also, I just want to give a great big shout out to all of the readers who decide to help the channel by watching the commercials. Let me tell you, it helps. I know it's not the most entertaining thing to do, but I promise you, it really helps the channel. And thank you, thank you, thank you for doing it. Yes. And over there in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, look over there in the other corner. And all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we don't have any shout outs, so we're going to get right to it. And y'all know when I am putting the read together, y'all know what I do. I hit these internet streets, and that's exactly what I have been doing today. And I must say, the streets have been talking. They have. And it's all about Harry and Meghan's Netflix deal, which is supposed to come to an end, I think, in September sometime. And of course, all of the rags and the ragazine. Now, I got that little term from one of y'all. I thought it was so cute, calling people and all those other so-called legitimate news organizations or celebrity news organizations ragazines, because that's exactly what they are. Sometimes they are just as big of a rag than those rags over there across the pond. I kid you not. And people is one of the biggest offenders. They are. I'm always giving them the side eye. I saw one squatty was talking about people, and they say they only mess with people because Harry and Meghan mess with people. But other than that, they give them the side eye. And that's the way it is with me. If it's not something about Harry and Meghan, I give them nothing. I serve them up dust because they are trifling. They really are. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, the slumlord. He's coming back off of his vacation to do an engagement. Who would have knew? Who would have known? And then we're also going to talk about something that happened today. A huge lawsuit has been waged against one of the biggest liars, one of the biggest bullies, one of the biggest grifters and clout chasers on these internet streets. Yeah, she finally got her comeuppance. And boy, it's no lightweight who is suing her. And I just love it. All I can say, it is about time somebody say enough is enough but all this freedom to lie. And you know what? I get freedom of speech. I get that. I get the importance of having freedom of speech. But nobody should have freedom to lie. And that is what is happening on these internet streets. I'm telling you, I went down a rabbit hole today and I saw all manners of nonsense. I mean, about Meghan, about Doria, I mean, it's even one video out saying that Megan jumped on Doria. I can't remember if Doria jumped on Megan or Megan jumped on Doria. Then it was one that Doria had denied that Megan was her daughter. She wasn't her real daughter. All kinds of nonsense. And that is what's going on these internet streets, the freedom to lie. And I really feel like that should be reeled in, my opinion. And so we're going to talk about that. So let's get started. We don't have a huge amount to talk about today, but we got some good stuff. We do. We got some important things to talk about today. And first, we're going to start with this. And this is a post. Well, this is the article that people put up today about Harry and Meghan's Netflix deal. Yes, that's why I cannot take people, because at the end of the day, it is a clickbait whore. And I said whore. I'm saying it right out. And that's all it is. It would do anything to get a click or a view. And basically, this is what it says. It says Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's $100 million Netflix deal won't be renewed. Now, that is such a misleading title. And the reason you know it's a misleading title, if you go in and read the article. If you read the article, you know this title, they're full of it. Yes, but what happens? Most people do not read the article. They just read the title. And that is the reason why people get the side eye from me. This is why people get dust from me unless it has something to do with Harry and Meghan, or I want to feature it in my podcast because it's good news for Harry and Meghan. Other than that, I don't F with people like that because of nonsense like this. And when you go into the story, basically what it's saying is that Harry and Meghan's Netflix deal is coming to an end in September. Okay? It's been 5 years and it was a 5-year deal. Okay? So it's coming to an end. And so what Harry and Meghan and Netflix has agreed to is what they call a first look agreement. Now I'm going to read you the passage in this article, this misleading title article. And it says Netflix has moved away from these large multi-project agreements. They're not doing those agreements anymore. They're not even doing those anymore. But yet and still, they want to try to twist it into getting clicks. And of course, the scum talking about Harry and Meghan was fired and all kinds of nonsense. I have never worked for anybody. Well, I had never been fired before, so I have to disclose that. But I never heard anybody working for someone and was fired and then go back and still be continuing to work for them. How can you be fired and still be working for them in this first look agreement? And it goes on to say, a similar shift occurred with their deal involving former President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, Higher Ground Production Company. And it's also my understanding, and they didn't mention it in this article, that this is the same arrangement that Tyler Perry has with Netflix. What is the big deal here? Well, the big deal is that Harry and Meghan is the whipping boy of those rags over there. They're just so thirsty to have anything negative against Harry and Meghan. This is just business. Okay, it is just business, but yet and still they want to blow it up to be something that is not a firing, a parting of ways, letting go. All this nonsense. How many people get let go and still work with the people that supposedly let them go? It makes no sense. Netflix is changing its business model. It's not signing those kind of contracts anymore. As people come out of them, they are offered, if you're good enough and they want to continue with a relationship with you, they sign these first look agreements. And then you have the ability to negotiate every, every deal, every project. Harry and Meghan will probably end up making more money this way than they did before, because they have a lot more flexibility. And also, they also have flexibility to take their projects elsewhere, like Apple Plus, like Paramount Plus, like Disney Plus. They have the flexibility now to do that. They don't have an obligation to Netflix. I mean, stop it already. I mean, it's as if they think we are stupid. They continue to treat their readers like idiots, like Bobo the Clown. And when in actuality, if you have the ability to reason and a rational mind, you can see that this is going to end up being better for Harry and Meghan. Because, like I said, they're going to have more flexibility. They're going to have more opportunity to work with other people. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And this whole $100 million figure, they still have no idea how much money Harry and Meghan got from Netflix. It might be double that, for all they know. But I digress. This is why I cannot stand People magazine, because they didn't go into all of that. They didn't talk about how it could be good for Harry and Meghan. All they wanted to do is feed into the negative, and I can't stand that. So, like I said, that is why I don't F with them unless Harry and Meghan is effing with them. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squad, pretty much agrees with me about People Magazine, but they threw Hello Magazine on the fire as well and said this: remember that Hello and People are not reliable and nice publications. They just go where the wind takes them. Exactly. Exactly. Any way that they can make a dollar, if it's with Willie Leaks and his mannequin, if it's with Charles the Terrible, if it's with the horses or the horse's son, it doesn't matter. They just go whichever way the wind goes. And it says if they have to use negative headlines to get clicks, even though they have no reliable sources, they will. You know what I'm talking about. Exactly. People magazine is a rag dressed up as a legitimate celebrity news source. That's exactly what it is. It is a wolf in sheep's clothing. And so is Hello Magazine. The only Hello Magazine that I really rock with, is Hello Canada. It seems like Hello Canada tries to be a legit celebrity news source. But Hello UK, rag. Nothing but a rag. And this other squatty came up under this squatty and said this: I have never trusted people. I just tolerate them because of Harry and Meghan. They are not different from UK hate media. They are very manipulative. Where is the lie? Exactly. I mean, no different, really. I can't see a difference. All I see is some news entity. Well, I won't even call it news. I would say gossip and bottom feeding. That's what I would call it. Just trying to get a click. Just what I said earlier. It's nothing but a click whore. That's all they are. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm gonna put this up. And this particular squatty is talking about page 6. And page 6 came out with a legit article about this. And their headline was legit too. It was not misleading. It absolutely cleared a lot of stuff up right in the headline. I mean, it's just ridiculous. This particular squatty said this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but page 6 has a way better write up and confirm my initial thoughts. It will be a first look deal, and they still have TV projects coming. And Ted is a massive fan of theirs, meaning Ted Sarandos, who is the CEO of Netflix. I mean, it's just ridiculous, these people. And I am glad that page 6 came out with a legitimate article, which is very surprising to me because it is a Murdoch entity. It is. And look at the Sun, the scum over across the pond doing all its deception and lying. But here over in the States, page 6 is absolutely telling the truth. And both are owned by Murdoch. I kid you not. I kid you not. And I'm going to put this up. This is the title of the article that appeared on the website, page 6. And like I say, it is so much better than people. People is out here walking the fence, whoring itself out for clicks, when page 6 actually did a decent article and explained what was going on. Now, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Page 6 is trash, and it has delivered a lot of lies when it comes to Harry and Meghan. But even a broke clock is right twice a day. And so I say that to say this, page 6 got it right this time. And the title of the article is Meghan Markle's exclusive. Meghan Markle's now, not Harry and Meghan, because it is Harry and Meghan. They're both are going to have upcoming projects. I mean, stop it with just honing in on Meghan. So I do have a problem with that. And it says Meghan Markle's exclusive $100 million Netflix deal is done, but more TV projects are coming soon from her and Prince Harry. So they did go in and, clean it up a little bit and add Harry. It should have been Harry and Meghan Sussex if you want it correct. But they put Meghan's name first because they know it would draw in the clicks. I'm just saying. But y'all know me. Y'all know me. I cannot stand the nonsense. I cannot. But at least in their title, they make it very clear that this is not an end but a beginning of a new phase, which it says, but more TV projects are coming soon from her and Prince Harry. And then you go in the article and it pretty much tell you about what's going on. I mean, it's just ridiculous that People magazine chose to pretty much, well, I'm not even going to talk about them no more because they really make my jaws tight. I'm telling you, I just cannot with these rags. I can't. I just can't. All right, y'all. I'm gonna put this up. And this particular squatty, I'm telling you, reading my mind. It says this: there has never been this much interest and speculation about a Netflix contract coming to an end as there is with Archwell Productions. Not even when Disney pulled out. P.S. Netflix doesn't go into partnerships with companies that they're disappointed with. Exactly. Let's not forget that Netflix is a silent partner in as ever. Yes, you don't partnership. You don't create a partnership with someone that you are planning not to work with anymore. Stop it. It is just ridiculous. Like this particular squatty said, how many people you know that are disappointed in something or a deal and they continue with it? They continue to partnership with those people. It's stupid. I can't. And the scrutiny when it comes to Harry and Meghan's business, their business. I mean, the scrutiny as if they're still a working member of that family over there. What they do in their professional life is their business. Why does those rags over there just absolutely continue to put their nose where it does not belong? And that is in Harry and Meghan's finances. Well, I know why. I know why. Because they just want to be able to write anything negative. They want to just make a win a loss when it comes to Meghan because they can say whatever they want to. Harry and Meghan are winning, and Harry and Meghan are thriving, and Harry and Meghan are making a lot of money, and they have not made the money that they're going to make. I'm telling you, they are really going to make a lot of money within this particular arrangement. Like I said, they can partner with multiple companies. Multiple companies. It will not be Netflix. They're not confined anymore. So I just cannot. But you know, the derangers, the trolls, the toadies, the ugly old hags, and the flying monkeys, and the smelly old skanks cannot help themselves. They can't. They were running and jumping on these internet streets. I'm telling you, you would think they all had won the lottery, and they look like a bald-faced fool because I have said it time and time again. If you have the ability to ration, if you have the ability to reason, I mean, if you're a rational human being and have the ability to reason, you know what's going on. You know what the deal is. But we all know they don't have any of that because all of that goes out of the window because they're jealous, they're envious, and they are filled with hate for a woman that they don't even know because they feel like she has something that belongs to them, and that would be her white prince. I kid you not. So, of course, you know, it has been hand to hand combat on these internet streets, and I have been laying it down, I must say, because I have no kind of decorum when it comes to all of the smelly old skanks. I have none. I absolutely do not, because it is just ridiculous that you will find it joyous to revel in something that you feel has happened negatively to a woman that you don't even know. To a woman you don't even know. You're just happy, 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 happy. Just I mean, it is such nonsense. These people must not have a life at all. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up, and this particular squatter makes such a great point. While they're running around here, jumping up and down, buying cakes and celebrating that Meghan and Harry's Netflix deal has come to an end. And just absolutely, you can tell when somebody is so thirsty. You can tell when they are absolutely parched because any little drop, they just lose their mind. Just a drop on their tongue, they lose their mind. And this is what has happened. But while they're doing that, they have no smoke for Willie and Kitty. None whatsoever. And most of the people who are running around acting a fool are people who have paid for the sixth or seventh vacation that Willie and Kitty has just, well, they're still on it. They're still on it. Yes, on a yacht over there in Greece. But they don't have no smoke for her or him. Only for a couple who is minding their business in Montecito paying their way. How stupid is that? I'm telling you, you have to be a stupid person to have a problem with people who are paying their own way and minding their own business. This particular squatty said this: our UK and global news media has barely whispered a report on Kate and William's free of charge family holiday on super yacht Opera. Now just imagine loaded levels, tones, and spins if it was Harry and Meghan's family holidaying on the same free of charge yacht holiday. I'll just leave this here. Exactly. It would be all about how Harry is an eco warrior. It would be just, you name it. Anything you can come up with, any ridiculous headline and title for an article, you anything you come up with, it will be written about Harry and Meghan. But yet it's still not, just barely a peep about what Willie and Kitty is up to. I kid you not. And I'm going to put this up, and Not My King posted this. It looks like Willie Leaks is coming back. He's going to halt his summer break to make a huge announcement. It says it has been confirmed that Prince William, patron of the Football Association, will travel to Switzerland on Sunday to attend England Euro 2025 final after their thrilling win against Italy last night. Yes, the Lions are going to be in the finals. And we all know it's about time he shows up for a final when it comes to the Lioness, because 2 years in a row when the Lioness was in the finals, he hid behind Princess Charlotte. Yes, y'all remember that? Making those little videos with Charlotte and making excuses why he could not show up. He would not interrupt his vacation. And so I'm thinking, because he's getting a lot of heat for being on this Sheik's, this kind of shady Sheik's super yacht, he's getting a lot of heat. And so he thinks, maybe I need to show up since I did it 2 years in a row and I'm hid behind my daughter. I don't think it'll work this time. And plus, I'm out here floating around in the Greek Isle. Maybe I need to, get on a helicopter, and then get on a private jet, fly to Switzerland, get back on a private jet, and get on a helicopter and get back on that yacht as quick as possible. Yes, Mr. Eco Warrior himself. I cannot with this person. I cannot. Can y'all see that this is my theme for the night? I cannot. These people. I'm going to put this up. And Kaiser posted about this, saying Prince William has to leave his yacht vacation to attend the women's Euro final. And this particular squatter that posted it said this: can you imagine the outrage if literally any other royal left their sixth speculatively expensive foreign vacation of the year to take a private jet to a soccer match and call it work? I don't know any other royal could do that. I don't know any other royal that has the audacity to do that, because you have to have the audacity to do some nonsense like this. I mean, it's as if him and Kitty Cat have a such a low threshold to understand that what they're doing, it is not going to go down well with people. They don't seem to get that. But yes, he has the audacity to do it, and that's exactly what he is doing. And this squatty came up under that and said this: when the self-funded successes do anything, it's endless commentary and morning TV shows, yet the publicly funded Cambridges, they're whales now, who don't do a great job but spends a great deal of time on holiday, gets their behinds kissed by the media, and is so predictable and hypocritical. Exactly. Yeah, and that's why it's so important for us to be in these internet streets saying exactly that. That is hypocritical. Mind your business. What Harry and Meghan does, that's their business, because they take not narrow dime from anybody. They work for their living. And you know, it just, you have to remind them of that, because it is just crazy to me. Why are you out here scrutinizing people who absolutely work for a living, take care of themselves, but have no scrutiny for the ones that you are digging the money out of your pocket so they can go on their luxury vacation? It makes no sense to me. How stupid. What a grift and a scam. And what a sucker to fall for it. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm gonna put this up. And this story about Anne, what she said about Willie Leaks and his mannequin, yes, how she was kind of irked with Peggy and how he doesn't work. And I am a little surprised that this story is actually getting the traction that it's getting. But this particular squatty reposted, this was in People. Yes, People again. And it was talking about Princess Anne is reportedly irked that Prince William leaves her to lead this royal duty. And what are they talking about? D-Day. He absolutely just skipped out on D-Day. And this particular squatty posted about it and said, no bloody wonder Anne, 73, which she is 74, was angry at having to yet again cover William's lazy arse while he went on his sixth wellness break of the year. It was the 2025 D-Day celebration, and veterans managed to get there. Not surprised they wanted the not surprised they want the Sussexes back here. Yes, they want Harry and Meghan back here to do all the work. That's why they so pissed. William is so pissed because he was gonna work Harry and Meghan like they were a couple of company mules. Yes, they were gonna just absolutely just run them into the ground. But I'm glad Anne finally spoke out, because you know how much you have to take for Anne to speak out against you. They said she irked about it. Why wouldn't she be? Why wouldn't she not be? Because she has to come from her home to do all those investitures. Yes, and he's right there in Windsor. She has to fly into Windsor or have a long car ride. And he is right there and will not do them. I mean, very little work coming out of work shy Willie. And we all know, do little Kitty, she ain't gonna do nothing. She except, show you her cancer card. That's it. I'm just saying. At the bottom down there, Notorious JTB said, Work Shy Willie, Billy Idol skipped the D-Day commemoration, and even Princess Anne is fed up. The firm's golden boy is lazy, entitled, and now that they can't blame Harry and Meghan, they are turning on each other. The mask is slipping. Exactly. Exactly. That's why they want Harry and Meghan back, so they can go straight under the bus. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up and look at this picture. This is a picture of Harry and Meghan the last time they were in the United Kingdom together, and that was during the Queen's funeral. And this was them leaving before they went to the private ceremony. Look at Meghan's face. She has been through the ringer. Look at Harry. He is blowing air out to try to relieve the tension that he has been experiencing. Why would they want to come back to that place? Why? Why would they do that? To me, that would be um, grounds for a mental health evaluation, a mental health assessment, to want to return to that kind of abuse. And this particular squatty said, from this picture, I can tell Harry and Meghan are desperate to return to Saltine Island so they can stand on the decrepit volcano. Sorry, I meant to say the balcony. Exactly. Who wants to stand on the balcony? Who wants to be any part of that when you have to look like this? Harry and Meghan, they were done. They were done. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this was posted by Gabriel Partgrant. I think I'm pronouncing his name correct. And he is the journalist that I think wrote the article about Charles. And he posted this and said, now a source close to King Charles is trying to smear our sources. Yes, they're trying to smear the people who came out to talk to them and say that Charles had lost 11 out of 12 staff, the gardeners. And I saw where, it was an article, I can't remember where Charles, they were pushing back. They were planning story, pushing it back, saying the king is saying that it had to be some kind of misunderstanding, that it wasn't as what it was printed in this particular story. So Charles is in the background, him and his flying monkeys and his toadies and minions are hard at work trying to discredit these people who have spoke out. I kid you not. But who is surprised by that? Not me, because this is what they do. They love to rewrite history. They love to pretend like what is up is down and what is down is up. Yes, the gaslighting has begun, trying to make Charles into something we all know he is not. Charles is a bully. Everybody knows that. And why they are trying to make it to be something different, don't believe your lying eyes. I guess this is what they're doing. But we all know this is what the men in gray suits do. They clean up after the elephant. And the elephant is Charles. I'm just saying. And when I saw this man's name, I said, I have saw his name somewhere. And guess where? Look at this. He is the one that wrote the article about William's cash for access. Yes, he did. And see, look, it says exclusive Prince William in cash for access controversy as super rich offer private meetings with the heir to the throne for £20,000. Kensington Palace cut ties with the Filipino Swedish millionaires behind the deal tonight, says his Royal Highness does not condone her conduct. But we all went back and found where this was nothing new. William absolutely condoned her behavior. He did, because he has done it before. He did it in New York. He has done it on other occasions, allegedly. Yes, we saw it in the newspaper. They wrote about it. The Fail did, saying that he charged $32,000 in New York for access. Yeah, you know. And so this is nothing new. Nothing new at all. I'm just saying. But the reason I brought this up is that Gabriel Podgren, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, he is out here doing good work. Yes, he is putting in the work over there at the Telegraph for a change, because he's been exposing people over there. He exposed William, and now here he is exposing Charles. I wonder how long he's going to last. I'm just saying, we're going to have to keep an eye on how long he lasts over there. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatter reminded Gabriel that who he was dealing with when he's dealing with Charles. This particular squatter said King Charles III literally took away security from his own son, daughter-in-law, and grandkids, exposing them to mortal danger. And you guys thought he would not come after normal UK citizens? Exactly. Yes. He is shocked that Charles and his henchmen are coming after his sources. And this particular squatter said, why? Why are you shocked? A man who treats his own flesh and blood like he has treated Harry and his grandchildren, you surprised he's coming after them? Stop it. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this happened today. The Macrons have filed a U.S. lawsuit over claims French First Lady was born male. Yes, and it's because of what has been said on these YouTube streets. Exactly. What has been said in these social media streets. Yeah, yeah. And the person that they sued is Candace Owen. She is another one who attacks Meghan every chance she gets. Why? Because she's a clout chaser. She's a grifter. She is just a person who wants to use other people to climb up a ladder for recognition. Yes, that's who she is. And so she decided to use the First Lady of France. Why? Because she never thought that they would come for her. She didn't think the First Lady of France would come for her. She could say whatever she wants to. That is the same thing that they think about Meghan. They never think Meghan is going to come for them, so they lie and lie and lie. You know what? I saw where Angela Levine was lying today. Her and what's his name? Martin Brennan. Yes. I think they were supposed to be discussing how Meghan did not want the king to walk her down the. Well, wait a minute. This is how she phrased it. She said the king was not Meghan's first choice to walk her down the aisle on her wedding day. Said Meghan's first choice was William, because Meghan wanted to be seen with the heir to the throne. I kid you not. I kid you not. This is what this woman is out here peddling today. Because on any given day, she has a new lie that she has pulled out of her butt, because she feels like she can. She feels like she can. Because she don't think that Meghan is going to say anything. And that is the same thing with this. Candace Owens thought she could have, I think they said she had a 7 or 8 part series about this woman scandalizing her name. And they really thought that they wasn't going to do anything about it because she is the first lady of France. But surprise, surprise. And this person who posted this said, Michelle Obama and Serena Williams, next, please. Exactly. Because we all know Candace Owens has talked smack about everybody. She is a media whore. She is. She is a clout chaser. She is a grifter. She is a scam peddler. She is. And because of that, she has caught a case, a major case from someone whose pockets are very, very deep. And I just love this for her. I really do. And this particular squatty said this, good, it's about time. YouTube has allowed these conspiracy theorists to run wild without any consequences. Where is the lie? Because like I said, I went down a rabbit hole and you would be shocked what is being said on these internet streets, well, on these YouTube streets. If you don't believe me, plug Meghan's name into the search engine and you will be surprised what comes up. I mean, all matter of nonsense. Plug Doria's name into the search engine. I mean, it is just ridiculous what these people are getting away with. The lies. I mean, outlandish lies. I mean, unbelievable lies that these people come up with in their favorite minds and decide to do a YouTube video about. And people are watching it. I mean, it is crazy. I mean, I just cannot. I cannot. So, yes, this is a good thing. This is a good thing because when you're out here just lying, blatantly lying, because this woman who Candace Owens is saying is a man, the first lady of France, has children. Has children. And we all know how they lie on Meghan and said Meghan's children are not her children. Yes. And how they consistently said that Michelle Obama was a man and Serena Williams. Yes, this is nothing new. And she is a one of the trolls that troll Meghan as well. So all I can say is karma is just kissing her in the mouth. And I love it for her. I do. And I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty posted the suit, because they filed it in Delaware. That is not going to be good for Candace Owens because Delaware is a very liberal state. It is. And they don't put up with the nonsense like one of those MAGA states. I'll put it that way. And this particular squatty said this, Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron, the president and first lady of France, are suing Candace Owens for defamation, among other claims. It is an extraordinary, unprecedented step for the head of state to take against a citizen of another country. But Ms. Macron has told friends that these allegations, which has been spread across the globe, have traumatized her. Yes, I'm sure it has. I mean, a lot of people are just not down with that. And you don't know what people are going through and how sensitive they are. And this woman hadn't done anything to her or anything to anybody else that I know of except her husband, because y'all know she was on camera jumping on him. She was absolutely knocking him left and right. She was giving him the two-piece and the biscuit. But I digress. That's their own business. That's their own marital issues. This woman had no business saying this about her when she knows it's not the truth. But like I said, a grifter would say anything if they feel like it will make them $1. And that's what it was all about. My belief is it was all about making money. Making money. I'm just saying. But all I can say is good luck on this one, Candace. You're going to need it. And I'm going to put this one up. This particular person said, I totally agree. These people think they can say whatever they want. No regards for a person that they are targeting. I'm glad that President Macron is taking a stand and suing Candace Owens for defamation. I love this for her. Me too. It says, Amen. Thank you. Yes, and I have said this many, many times before. If Meghan would strategically choose one of these trolls, one of these hags, and just absolutely drag them up and down the halls of justice, I mean, just take them to the woodshed, the rest of them will fall back. They would. And I hope this right here be a lesson to a lot of people who is being bullied for no reason whatsoever than just their existing. Because it's like I said, this woman hadn't done anything, at least to her or anybody else. Why are you calling her a man? Why are you torturing her? And it's my understanding that she did like a 7 or 8-part series on her YouTube channel, just focusing on this woman for no reason other than trying to get clicks and views and money and money. Well, I hope she saves some of that money because she's going to have to come out of pocket for a lot of it. And like this particular person said, I love that for her. I do. And I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatter said, more of these kind of lawsuits are needed. So many influencers and media use the platform to defame, harass, and target public figures. Where is the lie? Meghan, pick out one of them and then drag them to hell. Drag them to hell, and the rest of them will fall back. Like I said, I've said it many, many times. I know people say, well, you're giving them oxygen. Well, the first lady of France said you can have all the oxygen you want to because I am going to drag you. You're not going to continue to be talking your talk out here without me answering you back. And I wish Meghan would find one of them. Just find one of them. And like I said, drag them to hell. And the other ones will fall back. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this up because I just absolutely had to include this in the podcast because this particular squatty made me think about something. And I love that. This squatty said this. Isn't it so funny that there isn't been a publicly released family photo of Charles with the Wales family? I thought he was so close with the Wales children. The last family photo that was released was with Harry and Meghan back in 2018. I find that very strange as well. But this squatty that came up under really made a point and said this. Very odd, given that Queen Elizabeth II did photos of her heir and William. Where's Chuck with his heir and George? Exactly. Exactly. The Queen took several pictures with the heirs, her and the heirs. We have not seen any of that. We hadn't saw Charles, William, and George. We hadn't saw a picture like that. Where is that picture? I'm just saying. Something really to think about. They are fighting. They don't like each other, which is so sad. I mean, it is really, really sad. Charles is sick of William's, behavior, his laziness, his sorriness. And William still is carrying animosity towards Charles about his mother. Because you can say whatever you want to. They put on a good face. But William don't like the horse. He does not. Because I think back to that Tom Sykes article where William was talking about when he becomes queen, he's going to pack up the horse and set her at the end of the curb, at the end of the street. Yes, he is going to put her out. She would never see the inside of another royal palace or building once Charles blow out his last breath. That's what the article that, Tom Sykes wrote. I always refer to it because I believe that is William's true feelings. So yes, we hadn't saw a picture like that. And I believe that is why. All right, y'all, this happened on Jeremy Vine today. It seems that Charles is launching a new range of beard oils. I kid you not, but yet and still, Meghan is the grifter. Meghan is the one who is the huckster, the one who is hawking all these items, just making the crown cheap. Yes, cheapening the crown. And here he is selling beard oil. And this particular squatty said Charles monetizing his title. Most people know the double standards from the royals is praising the royals for something, but abusing Duchess Meghan for a similar thing. Exactly. Exactly. Another receipt. That's all I'm saying. And it says it's interesting when the king sells you, say, oh, that's lovely. The king is selling a product. When it's Meghan Markle, that tries to sell anything, it's like, oh my God, that's appalling. And this lady right here with the glasses, she brought up that very same point. And let me tell you, Jeremy Vine was trying to change the subject as quickly as he could. That's what he does. He doesn't let anything go too far when they are defending Harry and Meghan. But yeah, she brought that up. Funny. Funny how when Meghan is selling something, it is just cheapening the crown. But when Charles is hawking something, oh, it's lovely. It's fine. You know, he is raising money for charity. Yeah, and they don't know where that money's going to. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And I ran into this tweet a while ago, and I just wanted to include it today. And it says, it's a repost. And the original post said this. And it was back in December 2022 when this post was originally made. Keep that in mind. And this particular squatty said, one day we're going to talk about how after being responsible for attacks that pushed Meghan to the brink of wanting to unalive herself, Kate Middleton proceeded to steal her entire persona. Exactly, exactly. And this particular person who posted it said, this one post will forever live rent free in my head. Me too. Me too. And let's go back real quick. Look at this. Yes, just went about stealing everything from Meghan. Today I saw a video of Kate jumping out of her car, going out to greet people. And in the comments, they were saying, oh, that's so lovely. She is so lovely. And I reminded them, Kate is a duplicate because this is something she saw Harry and Meghan do in Australia. She has never had an original thought to enter her empty head, because if she did, it would scare her to death. Yes, they were just talking about, oh, this just proves she's a nice person. She is. No, it proves that she is a duplicate. That's what it proves. It proves that she does nothing but study Meghan, and then in return try to incorporate her whole persona, her mannerisms, her act, the things that she has done in the past. She go and redo them. Yes, look at this. And look at this. This is who duplicate is. And this right here. Look at this. Yes. And William is straight on board with the nonsense. So stop it. Stop it. And like this particular squatter said, it lives rent free in my head as well. And this particular squatty posted about it and said, I showed this thread to young lady at work. Her mouth was open the whole time. At the end of the thread, she asked if Meghan has a restraining order against the other lady. My sister said she wants her haters to be as invested in her as Meghan's haters do. Exactly. But I bet Meghan is tired of it, because it's bullying, it's harassment. It is nothing but a mental health issue. And if she was not the Princess of Wales, she would have a restraining order against her. Meghan has grounds right now to get a restraining order. This particular person who knew nothing about Meghan or Harry or Kitty Cat or Willie Leaks and looked at these pictures and said, do she have a restraining order? I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty said, a lot of you Meghan, Duchess of Sussex haters have never been loved out loud by a man, and it shows. And all I can say to that is I agree. I agree to that. But I also want to add to that and say that they're not good people. They're not. Because good people don't wish ill on other people. They don't. They absolutely don't. And they're not jealous or envious of other people, what they have, because they know their time is coming, or their time has come, or their time is here to be blessed. So they don't worry about what someone else have. They're happy for people to have. They don't feel an angst of jealousy. These people who hate on Meghan, they're jealous. They're envious. They absolutely are bitter because they're not Meghan and they don't have what she has. It is a gutter type feeling, meaning that it comes from the core of who these people are. They're not good people. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. Speaking of good people, look, this is good people. People who rejoice in other people's success because they're happy, or they just are good people to their core. That's what the problem is. These other people, they're just not good people. And look, they got Meghan's wine, and she has a little tattoo that says as ever. And look, it says Instagram at the Tiglet. They call themselves Tiglets. I love it. These are the type of women I like to be around. Women whose soul is not burdened with hate, jealousy, and envy. That they're free spirits, they're happy, and they're looking forward to their own blessings or enjoying their blessings. Who want to be around these, all these ugly old, envious old, bitter old hags? I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm gonna put this up. This has nothing to do with Harry, Meghan, or any of those people. I just saw this and I just thought it was so beautiful. Look at this fountain. The fountain, the water comes out, and their little tutu is water. Isn't that beautiful? I love ballerinas. I do. And I just thought this was so beautiful. I just think ballet is just such a beautiful, beautiful dance. And to see this statue, I thought, oh, I have to share. All right, y'all. See y'all a little later. Bye.